And the kick is going to go out of bounds. Not a good start for Penn State. Kent State will have good field position on their opening drive. They're trying to figure out what their offense is. They got rolled last time out at Tennessee.
Want to take it. Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team. The ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Cargman low and incomplete. 2nd and 10 for Kent State. Cargman flushed left. Collapsing, he's hit and incomplete. Oh, all over that potential interception was Kobe King. It went right through his hands. Rain coming down, handoff, Jordan Lowe, and he's slipped up from behind. Abdul Carter came in and grabbed him down. 4th down for Kent State. Saunders back to receive. Fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line. And now we'll see this Penn State offense
just scheming out space for Drew Aller in the run game.
Katron Allen starts in the backfield, hit hard, absorbs the hit, and gets across the 30-yard line. Good gain on 1st down. Here are your starters for Penn State. Love the skill position guys, especially Trey Wallace on the outside.
That was the other big storyline, is who's going to be wide receiver 1 with Keandre Lambert-Smith entering the portal. Well, Trey Wallace, man, he has had an explosive start to the season.
Ball knocked away, from Kent State. Had an open man. That was Wallace. Trying to get their ducks in a row. Still plenty of time. Allen again in the backfield. Aller to pass. Aller flushed right over the middle. Catch made. 1st down. Nittany Lions. There is Trey Wallace. At 3 in the backfield. Now we go Wildcat. Tyler Warren running the offense. Warren's going to take it himself. Right up the gut. Warren across the 50. They got a great lead block from his other tight end, Khalil Deakins, too. Aller hits the motion man out of the backfield. Short gain. Omari Evans on the catch. Here's the defense for the Golden Flashes. They're giving up about 30 pounds on that front line to this Penn State offensive line.
Yeah, I was just looking at it and I did the math. The Penn State offensive line, over 300 pounds. The average size of Kent State's defensive line, 260 pounds. Big difference, and something we'll be watching throughout the game today.
Aller, complete, 1st down, another catch by Wallace. Singleton in motion, he gets it. Jet sweep across the 30, spinning around down to the 25-yard line. Good carry on 1st down. We got Bo Prabula on the field. Back to pass, sets up the screen, and it's intercepted by Kent State. What a huge turn of events as Cam Olds, the defensive end, comes away with the pick.
Well, they dropped the 1 earlier in the drive.
Going on the field was an interception. 1st down, Kent State. Timeout on the field.
Tommy Ulatowski took over for the injured Devin Karchman. Handoff, and Ulatowski, keeps it himself for a 2-yard gain. There's a penalty flag down right around the 48-yard line.
Abdul Carter is flying around.
Offside. Defense, number 11, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
1st down, 5. Give over the middle. 1st down, Kent State. Kai Thomas on the carry. To pass, incomplete. Took a huge hit right as he was releasing it.
He works there on the inside as the defensive tackle, and you just look at the way this guy is constructed. You want to talk about a football player. Look at those legs, 6'1", 290 pounds. He has that natural leverage, but what you saw there is what makes him really special. It's the burst at his size. He's 2nd on the team in pressures right now, which is really impressive there, working on the inside.
Sherrod back in at quarterback, 2nd down and 10. Penn State territory at the 48. Sherrod keeps, lowers his head, gains maybe 2. Ulatowski had been battling a finger issue. Maybe that's what's having him on the sideline right now. Big down on defense. 3rd and 8 for Penn State. Sherrod down the sideline, incomplete. Nittany Lions take over on offense from their own 11-yard line. Singleton, the lone back. First down pickup, gain of exactly 10 from Warren. Remember, had 8 catches last time out against Bowling Green. Right up the gut. Another first down. Nick Singleton averaging almost 9 yards a carry, picked up 12.
This is what Nittany does. You see the pre-snap formation. The splits of the wide receiver are way out there, and then you motion Tyler Warren back in. A lot of space for his running backs to get working.
A lot of tempo, wide open. Julian Fleming, another first down. Drive that started at their own 11-yard line already in Kent State territory. Singleton, another carry, tries to break it back, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and that's Cam Olds who had the pick on the last drive. Aller to pass. Singleton run on the wheel. They go across the middle. Catch made. First down, Liam Clifford. Singleton, right side, breaks a tackle down to the 20. Across the middle, wide open, touchdown, Tyler Warren. Sherrod bottled up and driven backward. Flag on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 43, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Sherrod keeps, big gain.
Only giving up 7 points and had some chances.
3rd and 1 up the middle. First down, Golden Flashes. Kai Thomas in the backfield with Sherrod still at quarterback. To pass, looking for their first completion, and there it is. 2nd down, 5. Handoff, leveled was Kai Thomas. 3rd down and 5. Looking, and it's knocked down, nearly intercepted by Wheatley. That would have been 6 if he hangs on. On 4th and 5 from the 41, here's Josh Smith again. 20 punts on the season coming in, tries to pooch it. Tyler Warren with the touchdown reception on the last drive. Warren does so much for this offense. Also had a big run on a Wildcat earlier.
There he is right there on the line of scrimmage down to the left side.
Sealed that left edge so that Allen could go back upfield and pick up a first down for the Nittany Lions. Aller, all kinds of time, steps up, using the legs, and he goes down behind the line of scrimmage. Second and 13. Singleton tries the right side, bottled up. Bring on third down and 9. Aller, pressure coming from his face. Aller gets rid of it. Nice stand by Kent State. Blitz came from the corner.
Two teams will make it to the Big Ten title. Got to stay up to date.
Truly coast to coast, spinning around somehow. Sherrod kept that football. Under 10 to go in this first half. Sherrod bouncing his way through, finally brought down right at the 50-yard line. Dominic DeLuca in on the stop. To pass, there he goes. Circled him at the perfect time. Carter picks up the sack.
He's wearing that number 11.
Did it 2 weeks ago against Bowling Green. Singleton ran for 119. Allen 101. Aller sets up the screen for Warren. Hit twice, still on his feet, still pushing out to the 15-yard line.
We showed that stat versus Bowling Green here to start the season. They look back like them old selves.
Up the middle goes Singleton for a first down for Penn State. Out to the 24-yard line. It says a lot to what James Franklin has built here, too, that they both stayed. They didn't test the transfer portal. And here we go again with tempo with Aller. Aller steps up, uses his legs, and slides across the 30-yard line.
That's one of the biggest differences, a new element and wrinkle to this offense. Drew Aller changed his body this offseason, lost some weight. He's always had that big size with the ability to run when it's there.
Warren, one-handed catch! Oh, he brought that thing in. What a play by Warren. Maybe a lion paw here in Happy Valley. Aller looking to his third option. Escapes, throws down the sideline, catch made! Inside the 20, Omari Evans. There's that mobility. The middle, oh, incomplete. There was a lot of pressure in the backfield. Aller got rid of it. Was looking for Wallace.
Now we're getting to see that formation once again. Tyler Warren at quarterback.
Run of the Wildcat. Warren is going to throw it to the outside. Singleton, touchdown. Warren's doing it all this afternoon. It's all on display this afternoon for Andy Kotelnicki. Kick is up. Kick is good. Look at that timing right at the kick for a touchback. Andy Kotelnicki, whose offense was described this week as a blizzard from Dairy Queen. Vanilla, boy oh boy, is there a lot going on in there. Going deep. Sherrod, too strong of a pass. Sherrod on the play pass, catch across the middle, and a first down for Kent State. Getting to the outside, Kai Thomas. Good gain on first down for Kent State of 5. Putting up a 0 in this first half so far, 4:20 and counting. Two guys in motion at the time of the snap. And it will be. It comes in late.
There is no foul in the play. Charge timeout. Kent State. Their second.
Low in motion. Sherrod takes, slips, and he goes down. Third down and 7, a loss of 2. Now Sherrod is banged up. Already lost Devin Carchman on the second play of the game. Takes over. Junior from Chicago. 3rd and 7. Left guard that moved over to left tackle Dustin Morrell. Another punt from Smith. Catch made. And a nice play at special teams from Kent State. We'll see how Drew Aller and Andy Kotelnicki play this final drive of the second quarter. Handoff. Allen gets to the outside. Allen, a first down and more on that play to open up the drive.
Once again, you send Julian Fleming there in motion, and you see Amari Evans, the wide receiver, come down. That's how they create space out there on the edge. There was no Kent State defenders once Allen got out in open space.
13 yards for number 13. Wide open down the middle. Clifford, his second catch of the day, and they're knocking on the door of the red zone.
Just so much arm talent by Drew Aller. That ball just gets out of his hands. Effortless.
Shifts to the other side of the formation. Fire and ice in the backfield. Aller to the outside. Singleton, another catch, and he goes out of bounds. Allen gets the carry. Brought down to the 20. And the Old Trapper halftime show. Allen, the lone setback. Aller to pass. Aller steps up. Looking for blockers. He's got a first down and out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. This is a smart play by Drew Aller.
And this is something that showed up on tape. I mean, the very first game, West Virginia, he tucks it and runs, stiff arms a Mountaineer defender and gets up and shows the emotion. This is just another element that defenses have to account for. Drew Aller is now willing and able, as much as he ever has, to run the football.
Clifford in motion, Allen the back. Aller looking, seam, touchdown, William Clifford. No Morton Anderson masks these days. Until about 5 minutes ago of game action, Penn State has found their offense. Ulatowski incomplete, through to an empty area. Lowe gets the carry. Able to hang on and drive him down was Jalen Reed.
Now, Jeff, that was a bad circle, but up there at the top, the D-line is Abdul Carter. That's been the guy that showed up on third down.
Handoff, Carter able to grab the ankles of the runner, Jordan Lowe, and bring him down. Played a major role on that Penn State defensive front the first half. Smith back to punt again for Kent State. 6 drives, 6 punts, returnable for Saunders. Gets away from one and out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
I think if you're Kent State, you got to play more too-high coverage, though. Penn State's got him down the seam all day.
Aller to the outside, Warren out of bounds.
Right here.
Putting together a Christian McCaffrey type of day. Aller again. Looking to the outside. Nice catch. First down, Trey Wallace. Aller again. Looks to the middle. It's caught. Fleming into the red zone for Kent State. Boy, he thread the needle with that toss.
He was waiting. He wanted it. That's that second time. That's kind of been the route there for Fleming. Deep dig right down the hash.
Still all kinds of time and a timeout. Aller steps up. Aller, tons of greenery, out of bounds inside the 5. 236 yards. He's run extremely well too. Aller. Incomplete. He had Warren wide open in the flat.
James Franklin has managed this half really well, and with one timeout, they can certainly run the ball here, Jeff.
21 seconds to go and a timeout. Give it to Singleton. Excuse me, it's Aller on the keep. Aller's got it. What a fake. Aller has a running touchdown.
Okay, man.
Scored right before the half. They're going to get that football right back. Aller at quarterback. Handoff goes to Allen. See the numbers there for Aller. Handoff goes up the middle. Allen ran into his own offensive lineman.
You see the back pedal though? Wormley had the awareness and he grabbed his running back and started the back pedal.
Allen with the tempo. Allen across the 40. Another gain of 5.
Against Ohio State, right? That's a great defensive line. We saw the Buckeyes. This offensive line is going to need to continue to play at a high standard.
Aller going for it all. He's got a man in the bucket. A touchdown, Omari Evans.
This is the biggest difference. Really, the only change is the scheme.
Ulatowski back at quarterback. Kent State has used 3 different quarterbacks today. Parchment hurt on the second play of the game. Went to J.D. Sherrod. He left with an injury. Again, low over the left side. Got a penalty flag on the far side of the field.
Offside. Defense, number 50, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
You know, this is part of football. Injuries happen, and it forces guys to grow up. But James Franklin, this is what he does. He recruits talented individuals. It's really about what you do with that opportunity. Here he is right here once again, looking like he's manned up on the slot.
Absorbed a hit. Depth being tested with that injury to Winston, and that's one thing going into conference play next week. Depth is key, especially in that defensive backfield. Handoff again over the left side. Initial tackle by Tyler Elsdon.
There's Lane down in the box. He's got the tight end man-to-man.
Empty backfield, pressure coming, knocked away. That was Elsdon who got his hand in there, forces a 4th down.
It's just felt like Kent State, anytime they've dropped back today, there's been no time.
Another drive, another punt for the Golden Flashes. Fair catch called for at the 9.
He can really do it all. And again, like, if we could give a trophy, we'd give it to Andy Kotelnicki, the play caller for Penn State. Just doing a great job of getting everybody involved. And the thing they put on tape today, teams are going to have to defend that. They have to commit resources to some of these trick plays and gadget formations and personnel he's used.
Motion man, you saw Prabula, he's in the ball game. Handoff to Singleton, lots of space near the 20-yard line. See if they give him the 1st down. They will.
That's a lot like what Nebraska does with a different type of scheme, but they got receivers and a good quarterback.
Clifford gets the carry over the outside, hit hard. Amari Evans is over 100 yards receiving too. Here goes Prabula, right side across the 40. Good gain on 1st down, picked up 8.
But if they can round it out with Clifford and Fleming and Amari Evans, my goodness.
Singleton, left side, big run on 2nd and short. 1st down and way more for Singleton, a gain of 18.
This is just outside zone, so what you're taught is to just step and run, and for Singleton, get flat, and then when you see a hole, get going.
Flag comes out, Prabula keeps Prabula across the 30 for a 1st down. We'll check on the penalty. Singleton's got 81 yards on the ground.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on defense. That penalty's declined. Also, offside defense. That penalty's declined. The results of the play, 1st down.
It's a clean operation from start to finish.
Allen on the give. Hit once, hit twice, still driving those legs forward for a pickup of 5.
You know, they lost a 1st-round talent in Olu Fashanu to the NFL last year, but these 5 guys, and they rotate, 6 or 7 guys too. They're having a good start to this year.
Allen dragging tacklers for another 1st down. Cam Wallace in the game for the 1st time. Prabula to pass. Caught. Touchdown. Khalil Dinkins.
Next one.
There are 5 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. Another touchback.
It's little and it's insignificant. There's been a number of self-controlled penalties pre-snap. And again, like that, it doesn't matter today. It'll matter against Illinois, against USC, against Ohio State.
To the outside and took his eyes off the football.
Football's a great sport. It's hard enough to win when you do everything right, even harder when you make those mistakes. Again, the penalties don't matter today. They will matter as the schedule gets tougher.
Aiden Harris gets the carry. 3rd and 8 for Ulatowski and the Golden Flashes. Pressure, Ulatowski running out of time. Throws it out of bounds.
Gotta wonder.
Kick away. Jake Spencer. Ball is out. Spencer falls on top of it.
chance to learn from potential first rounder in Kevin Winston.
Cam Wallace with the carry for Penn State. Perbula hit as he threw. He was trying to get it to Tyler Johnson.
Talked about Winston getting injured. You're just going to deal with injuries throughout the year. That's where these reps, they won't get lost on James Franklin and his coaching staff. Nice use of the double count. Free 5 yards here. Offside Kent State.
There's a lot of discussion.
Offside, defense, number 14 with contact, 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
Wallace around the line, finding space. First down, but will it hold? The penalty flag behind the play.
Something held. The play will not hold.
Holding, offense, number 74, 10-yard penalty, first down.
They had to play in the Big Ten East, so they had to face Michigan and Ohio State every year. That was a gauntlet, so now they're not in the Big Ten East. That's a plus. Win a conference title and compete for a national title.
Perbula's going to keep it. There's that option. Pass is complete to Luke Reynolds. That's his first career catch, and a flag comes in late. Penn State loves this young freshman, 6'4", 250.
Runs a 4.5 apparently with a 38-inch vert. They just cloned Tyler Warren.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, offense number 74, 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, third down.
It's Williams again, his second penalty of this drive.
Too many penalties for Penn State.
James Franklin still with that intensity. Here's the most wins without a playoff appearance since 2014. Penn State and Wisconsin sandwiched around Oklahoma State.
Good enough isn't good enough.
Across the middle, and Wallace couldn't hang on. Brings up fourth down. Penn State's only punted once. They're going to bring the punting unit on for a second time. Holding penalty and a personal foul. Thompson, good boot. Takes a Kent State bounce.
They were so disruptive, and that was the Manny Diaz defense. Now he's at Duke doing the exact same thing. It's still aggressive. It's just a bit of a different structure. It looks a little bit different.
Big hit. Lead the communication with Tom Allen. Again, he's in the booth today for the first time. Another big stick. .583 total yards of offense today.
Goodness. Look at the structure of this defense.
And we're going to get a flag that's incomplete, but 2 flags in on the play. They get a hold on that corner. John Mitchell in coverage.
Yeah. I pointed out the structure.
2 fouls on the defense. Offside, defense number 44. That penalty's declined. Holding, defense number 12. That penalty's accepted. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Hand off and driven backwards.
Just to go back to answering those questions, it only created more urgency how good Illinois looked, particularly on the offensive side of the ball on Friday night. This new look Big Ten.
Incomplete. Ball was out. Good hit on defense.
Defended by number 12.
2 for 12 on their passes today. Again, they're on their third quarterback.
Man-to-man across the board, one high safety, everyone else down in the box.
Swallowed up on defense.
So just a really bad matchup. I think Penn State is excited to, they've had a brutal opening schedule, playing on the road at Pittsburgh. Kind of an inexcusable loss to St. Francis, then playing Tennessee, Penn State. It's a tough schedule.
Saunders, open field, and dragged down past the 30-yard line. Bo Prabula continues on at quarterback. Wallace gets the carry, met in the backfield. Going nowhere. Stretch Carroll. Wallace again, hit. Third and 8, Prabula to pass. Yeah, what a catch! Up and bringing it down was Luke Reynolds.
They just keep cranking out great tight ends. Luke Reynolds, my goodness, is that the catch of the day? Tyler Warren had the one-hander, but Luke Reynolds going up top.
Wallace on the carry. They went fast to make sure that they did not review that play.
But maybe we need to take a look at what Penn State's done at that position. They have, going back to my time, they've been developing and putting guys in the NFL.
Broken play, Prabula to the outside. Catch made. Nice throw.
Play.
Beautiful throw and catch. Denmark on the reception.
Another freshman.
630 yards of offense today for Penn State.
They are rolling. We're getting a look into the future.
Wallace carries. Prabula again, catch made. Down at the foot marker, Omari Evans was looking for his second score.
Oh.
Inches short. Not quite Rams Titans Super Bowl in terms of your meaning, but you're that close. Wallace, touchdown. First career score for Cam Wallace. Sue ready to kick it away again. He's been busy with that right leg. Returnable.
Certainly great for the Nittany Lions to have those three guys step up.
Another handoff. Penn State moving the pile after a gain of 2.
That's a good comp. You got hair and mustache on the screen. You don't see that much beauty every day.
Solid. All you need is a slow-mo cam on it, and then you're really in good shape. Stood up maybe a half a yard.
But he's very organized.
NIL deal with throw lozenges too, maybe?
Maybe. If not, maybe he needs to get on.
Empty backfield. Lutowski hit as he threw it. And they're saying the ball is live. Penn State goes the other way for a touchdown. Antoine Belgrade, shorter, picked it up and ran it into the end zone.
Rolling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense for touchdown. After review, it's an incomplete pass. 4th down at the 38-yard line.
Back in Happy Valley, Dean, this call was reversed. Why?
focus on the hand of the quarterback. Does it come forward with control? And you can see a great look. It comes forward with control just before he loses it. That is an incomplete pass, and the call was, like you said, overturned.
Thanks so much, Dean Blandino, out there in Los Angeles, our rules analyst. So wipe the touchdown off the board. It'll force a 4th down and a punting situation. Josh Smith has been awfully busy today. Good boot, fair catch called for and made.
Billy Edwards too, Maryland's quarterback, having a great year.
Just a couple of incompletions for Edwards.
All right, they're on the 22.
Can they get 57 more yards on this drive?
They need to get to the opposite 20. That would be 58 yards.
Let's do it. Can we count it down?
Let's try.
Perbula back to pass. A lot of room to run, and he's brought down, getting close to the 35-yard line. They'll give him the 34. Perbula passing again. Catch. Lots of room to midfield for Anthony Ivy, his first catch.
Okay. That's how you do it.
I like it. Nice job.
30 to win.
Left side and bottled up right at midfield for a gain of 1. 28.
Gain of 1. Now you need 28 to tie, 29 to win. They're giving him 2.
Ooh, gave him 2 yards.
27, 28.
Well, Cam Wallace is down. This offense is churning with Andy Kotelnicki again. It was the defensive coordinator, Cody Morgan, for Kent State that said that this offense is like a blizzard from Dairy Queen. It's pretty vanilla, but man, you could spin a lot of stuff in there.
It really is the perfect way to describe the offense. That is.
Leg got stuck underneath him.
Gosh. Oh, the right ankle. Oh my goodness.
Left leg too.
Oh my gosh. Double whammy. Oh my gosh.
Perbula with the carry. Gets it to Quentin Martin. His first carry.
Huge, critical 3rd down here as they try to rewrite the record book.
Still 27 yards away.
So
3rd and 8. Perbula gonna run for it. Perbula gets to the outside, and he's gonna move the chains. Hope is still alive in Happy Valley. Under 4 minutes to play. Time not an issue. Perbula again. Looking left. Incomplete. He had his man open. An overthrow. Flag comes in late.
75 on the field.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 43, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And the officials.
Previous plays under further review for potential targeting.
Yeah, you're going to take another look at this one. All right, Dean Blandino, what do you see on this potential targeting?
So start with the player getting hit. He is in a defenseless posture. Now we have to say, okay, does the defender lead with the head, the shoulder, the forearm? He does appear to be leading with the head. He's definitely attacking with force. I'm just not sure if he gets him in the head neck area. Does he hit him up in that upper chest, or does he make contact to the chin?
After review, number 43 is also guilty of targeting and is disqualified for the remainder of the contest.
Where's our total yardage counter? They need 18 yards. Handoff again. Gets him to the 19. A yard away from 700. Opening to the outside and brought down. Again, Martin on the carry. I don't know. I don't know.
Someone's got, oh, well, never mind.
There it is. Here's your first down. Chains move. Program record, by the way, for Penn State, 39 first downs. So that's a program record. Now can they chew up 5 more yards to beat Susquehanna back in 1926? Almost. We have a 2-minute timeout coming. Carry, Martin driven backwards. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 8 yards to go. Sorry, 9 yards to go. They gave him a loss of 3 instead of a loss of 2. 2 minutes to go. Perbula, the quarterback. Handoff. Martin, stutter step to the outside. And he's driven out of bounds. Pickup of 4. Give him 5. Every yard counts. They need 4 for the record. Martin the carry. Martin! He's got it! A new record for Penn State. Total yards in a single game.
Why not just go score?
Beulah, touchdown, Penn State. 8 scores. Ryan Barker kicks it through for Penn State. Minute 25 to go. And Barker to kick it away.
And they were backed up a number of times, right? Remember how the field position Penn State got on a bunch of drives there early in the game. Didn't give them an inch.
This clock run down as much as they can. Get it away. Run up the middle, and that should be our last play of this ball game.